Nature has a way of saying, stay away. Animals and plants emit extremely foul odors, most commonly to repel predators. Domestic dogs regularly stink from poor mouth hygiene, from poor diet, and regularly eating fecal matter. Skin emits foul odors, anal sacs, constant ear infections, moisture, especially between the toes. Natural animals emit odors, including the Hoatzin bird emits odor from the gut, the southern tamandua from anal glands, mustelids, including wolverines, skunk, polecats. Pangolin has glands that emit odors when scared. Millipede curls up and emits odors. Sometimes some of them emit hydrogen cyanide. The wood hoopoe, foul-smelling odors. There are several plants that emit odors, like the skunk cabbage, arrowwood viburnum, carrion flower, smells like rotting meat, voodoo lily, Titan arum, crown imperial. But there is one other reason animals and plants emit putrid odors: to attract a mate.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Some of you might have noticed that I shared this video in the community section. Whenever I have a moment, I binge watch these videos from Toxic Paw Print. Very interesting videos. It make you pull out the notepad, pull up Google, and do your homework. Right? So if you enjoyed this brief snippet, be sure to subscribe. Now, this will be a short nuttery video. At least I plan on keeping it short. Or I'll put it like this: I don't have that much content for this particular video, but sometimes I still babble, so bear with me. If you would, please. Shout out to everybody who's able to join me. I invited some dog lovers. I'm going to try to do that with every live stream. Okay, I want you dog lovers to hear what we're saying. I want you to hear what we're saying. I want you to read the things that we say. Because we're everywhere. We're all around you. We're in the library. We're in the classroom. When you want to disregard our existence and bring a stinking, slobbering mutt into the room. You know full well that there are many people who don't like these things, and you insist on forcing them onto the general public anyways. So I want you to listen to what we think about you and your worthless mutts. You need to know that there are people out here who think like us. Now, as I said, people who own pit bulls, they have a mental illness. Now, listen, I don't mean to say that as if I don't have a mental illness myself. I believe we're all mentally ill in some way, right? Just in different ways, some more extreme than others. And this is a unique type of mental illness. It involves virtually a complete lack of value for life. Fascinating stuff. When something gets extreme, most people are able to neutralize it. They're able to stop themselves like, this is a little overboard. But with Dog Nuttery, it's like no boundaries. They place no limitations. In public, they will have this weird sort of making out session with dogs right in front of everybody. They'll hold, kiss, and caress a dog just as they would a husband or wife. It's become acceptable for people to basically be involved in zoophilia out in the open. Now, this article surfaced August 26th of this year. And this is another example of mental illness, in my opinion. It does not require that you have a pit bull. But look at the title. People have more pics of dogs than loved ones. Now, they wrote pets, but they're always talking about dogs. Always. I don't even think it's a popular thing to take photos of cats. Now, maybe I'm wrong. I'm quite sure I'm wrong. But it's more rampant with dogs. More pictures of your dog than you have of loved ones. Now, we all knew this. I've talked about this well over a year ago. This is one of the first things I talked about. How you'll see in a person's photo album, many of them right online, Facebook, Twitter, far more photos of their dog than their child. What does that mean? You know, you take photos of whatever is most important to you, whatever occupies your mind the most. Okay, that is what you're going to take photos of for the most part. So it's telling when these people have a gazillion photos of their dog, and it gets obsessive. They'll take the dog's photo in, slightly different positions where it's just pointless to share photos like this. And it's really an obsession. New York Post was brave enough to talk about it in one of their articles. And they use a lot of code language. Pets are a person's best friend. No, dogs. Dogs. Let's get the language right. New research shown that dog parents have more pictures on their phones of their dogs rather than their kids. All right, all you young folk who follow the channel, you've heard me say several times that these people love the dog more than they love their child. I'm not the only one who's noticed that. Here you have the New York Post doing an article about it. It's not just IHD and his bizarre, wacky imagination. A third of dog parents have more photos of their dog on their phones than of their kids or partner. What is this? This is an obsession. It's an obsession. And there's nothing about dogs to be obsessed about. For example, the video I just showed, he touched on how dogs stink. You know, why people force themselves to adapt to that stench is beyond me. Right? They stink. They're always drooling, always moving, being annoying, following people around, bothering people, begging for food. That's basically what they're doing the whole time anyways. They're constantly nonstop begging for food. Whenever they put their nose on the ground and they're sniffing around, they're looking for something to eat. Gluttonous creatures disgust me. Creatures that just want to eat for the sake of eating, despite not being hungry. There's nothing about dogs to be obsessed about. They're unsightly. Their skin sags. Right? They don't look natural. They're noisy, stink. But people are obsessed with them. And it's all because of propaganda. It's all the result of brainwashery. Otherwise, dogs are just too repugnant. They are too disgusting for anyone in their right state of mind to be attracted to them. So I thought this was refreshing, revealing, and reassuring, because I've said this myself. These people love their dog more than themselves. Many of them willing to die for these worthless mutants. Now, that is not what I wanted to talk about. So I will share a link to this article. I thought it was interesting, so I decided to share it. But on this segment of Random Dog Nuttery, I want to touch again on dog aggression. Read a few articles here recently that upset me. One was from the Kennel Club. Before I get to that, how many of y'all heard this story? This is the second or third time I've heard about this happening. Another police officer, here, wait a minute. Let's do this. Let's do this. Is this it? Wait, let's see.
From the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, and I'm going to go ahead and give you, update you on what we've learned so far. We're told PBSO detectives were actually called to assist West Palm Beach police with a search warrant regarding one of their investigations. Now, once the search warrant was received, detectives began to enter the home on Edie Place. Upon deputies entering that home to clear the residence, a pit bull charged and attacked a deputy. The second deputy discharged his firearm, hitting the pit bull while it was attacking the deputy. The bullet actually traveled through the pit bull, hitting the deputy. So PBSO, that deputy was taken to a local hospital where he is being treated for non-life-threatening injuries. That deputy, we're told, will be okay.
So here's another case where a dog attacked a cop. That cop was with his partner, and his partner shot the dog and accidentally shot his partner as well. This just happened just a few weeks ago. Cop tried to shoot a dog that was attacking his partner and shot her. She actually said it right there on camera. She's like, "You shot me." Another example of the chaos that dogs cause. You know, I don't know how long people can actually put up with this, a menace in their society like this. It's pretty incredible. Shot your partner all over a dog. Now, why did this dog attack this cop? I know why. No reason at all. There's never a reason. Cops love dogs, and they don't do anything to provoke dogs. Dogs simply see people and attack. One of the biggest reasons why they should be exterminated. Right? Now, y'all remember I shared this story. I shared this story on the most recent live stream about this boy who's recovering.
In a story you will only see on 5, a nightmare for an Apple Valley family whose child was attacked by a dog while at daycare.
The 8-year-old boy suffered traumatic injuries and faces a long road to recovery. KTLA5's Sandra Mitchell joins us live from Loma Linda University Medical Center, where he's being treated. Hi, Sandra.
Hi, Court and Cher. Yeah, this really is heartbreaking. We went inside the victim's hospital room today. We talked to the little boy's mom, and we also uncovered that this home daycare facility where the dog attack occurred is not licensed.
In a story you will only see on...
Wait a minute. Sorry about that. Now, like I said in the first video, what difference does it make? You notice how immediately they wanted to point out that they didn't have a license, as if that's the reason the boy was attacked. As if they had a license, the dog would not have been aggressive. That is totally irrelevant.
8-year-old Connor is in pain, suffering from bite wounds on most of his little body.
He was bit in the face, the chest, the back, the arm. To see an 8-year-old like this in bed and not wanting to play, or not being able to talk or eat or drink, and to be in pain is a lot.
Those are dog bites. On Tuesday, Connor was attacked by a Labrador retriever at this daycare at a private home in Apple Valley. This was a home that...
Okay. A private home. Look at this home. They're in the suburbs, man. This is a little ritzy neighborhood. So I don't want to hear nothing about them not having a license. It's not like they were in some, horrible area. It's a nice house, uppity neighborhood. I don't want to hear nothing about them not having a license. They're trying to blame the absence of a license rather than blame the dog.
You trusted?
Yeah, I trusted her, and I trusted that he was safe there. That all.
Whoa. She says she trusted the woman and trusted that the child was safe there. No. Why would you trust someone with a dog? You know full well that the dog can attack whenever it wants. I don't buy that. You were sold into that nuttery. You co-signed it. You knew there was a dog there. Put it like this. Had you known that there was a dog there, would you have not allowed your son to stay there? No, you would have let him stay. You would have trusted. Why? Why do y'all trust people who have dogs? As if they have some type of mental control over their dogs. They don't. People need to snap out of it. You know what type of mentality I'm talking about. People think that dog owners have mental control, mental powers over their dog. And that if that person knows you, then there's no way that their dog would attack you. I don't know where this comes from, but you got to get this out of your head. Dogs they function under their own will. They are not under any type of control of their owners. These are brain damaged. Dogs are brain damaged, neurologically dysfunctional mutants.
And I trusted that he was safe there, that all of my kids were safe there. So I'm definitely really upset and hurt that this happened to him.
I spoke with the daycare operator by telephone. She confirmed the attack and said the dog was removed.
No, look, you're not allowed to act like you're appalled or outraged. You see, they want to co-sign with Dog Nuttery on one hand, but then when there's an attack like this, oh, I'm so disappointed. Now stop. You're partially to blame. You knew there was a dog there.
Happened to him.
I spoke with the daycare operator by telephone. She confirmed the attack and said the dog was removed by San Bernardino Animal Care and Control and will be euthanized. A check of the State Department of Social Services shows the daycare license application for the home is pending.
See how they trying to put a lot of emphasis on this? What difference does it make? It makes absolutely no difference at all. And a daycare? Why would you have a dog there? Why would you have a dog at a daycare? Think about it. They had that dog there so the kids could play with it. The whole purpose was for the kids to interact with the dog. They were on this thing where dogs and kids are best friends. And the mother knew it. She knew that. Don't play dumb.
After the attack, Connor was taken by medevac helicopter to Loma Linda University Medical Center. He has extensive injuries and has already endured surgery.
I asked them how many stitches they did. They said a lot. They just kind of intertwined. There were stitches inside of his mouth, on the top lip. His chest had a 5-inch laceration that was about a 1/4 inch deep.
Just a few days ago, Connor was alive.
In a story you will...
Oh, man, why do I keep doing that? Now, this is truly horrific. This is him. This is the child right here. And his face is no longer the same. It will never be the same. Probably got all types of nerve damage. He will never look the same. This is a lifelong traumatic event. So why aren't we talking about how absurd it is to deliberately and knowingly create the environment for something like this to happen? How come that is never discussed? All they want us to do is say, oh, it's just so heartbreaking. It's so gut-wrenching. As if to say, oh, but there's nothing we can do about it. It's just something natural. It's just something that occurs in nature. No, how come we're not talking about how strategically this environment was created by the adults? Huh? That's the most important thing to talk about. Because the first question, look, when you have a child whose face has been grinded off his or her skull, when you have a child whose face has been ripped off, the most important question is, how did this happen? But these people want to skip over that part and just talk about, oh, how gut-wrenching it is. Oh, this is so heartbreaking. No, that is so goofy. It's goofy and it's weird. It's sick. It's like the behavior of a mentally ill person. You skipping over the most obvious discussions. How did this happen? How did we get to the point where a child could have their face ripped off? See, they don't want to have that discussion because they would have to point at themselves. And they cannot imagine living on this earth without dogs. That is a illness. That's a mental illness.
Deep.
Just a few days ago, Connor was
kidding? Are you kidding? My child, listen, you will never interact with a dog. You might see dogs on TV, on cartoons. That's the only place you're going to see them. And my child will be just fine. These people act like not allowing a child around a dog somehow deprives the child of something constructive and something wonderful and miraculous. This is truly how these people think. Oh, but we don't want you to be afraid of dogs. Oh, we don't want to deny our children dogs. Why not? Isn't it weird? That is so weird to me. They really act like it's abuse to not let a child interact with a dog. They view it as abusive towards the child. Incredible.
Just a few days ago, Connor was a lively little boy who loved making his little brother laugh. His mom says now it is difficult to see her son's physical injuries, even more heartbreaking to think about the...
Oh, again, why, mother, why didn't you think like that before it happened? Would say it's difficult to see him like that?
Now it is difficult to see her son's physical injuries.
Why can't you foresee that? He's like, no, you got a dog? There's a dog in the daycare? Well, my child's not going in there. Why would you trust someone who has a dog in the daycare? I'm like, oh no. Your dog's not about to flip out and rip my child's face off. And then I'll have a hard time just looking at my own child. No, thank you. Right? We'll take our business elsewhere. How come you didn't think like that? Is that some type of stretch of the imagination for some people? You know, they view this type of thinking as, oh, you're being ridiculous. It's just a dog. Let me not try to speak for these people. I truly don't know what goes through their mind. But this is something that's very easy to foresee and avoid.
Even more heartbreaking to think about the emotional trauma.
Hey. You think it might be a bad idea to jump into a lion's den? Yeah, that is how ridiculous it is. A flipping dog in a daycare center.
Just sad, and he doesn't want to do anything or get out of bed.
Sandra, is the daycare operator facing any criminal charges?
See? Is the operator facing criminal charges? They want to talk about everything other than their role in attacks like this. And all dog lovers, all three of these women, and all dog lovers all around the world, blood is on their hands. All of you who participate in this nuttery, blood is on your hands. And These dogs are aggressive, not because of what humans have done to them. American Kennel Club, right? American Kennel Club. I read this today. What makes dogs act aggressive? New research offers more information. So here's the American Kennel Club, and they want to share information from a research. New research. Okay? Fearfulness, pain, age, and sex. Fearfulness, pain, age. They say older dogs more likely to attack. Sex, male dogs found to be more aggressive than female. Size, they found that small dogs were more likely than medium-sized and large dogs to be aggressive. And this seems like an attempt to defend pit bulls. Environmental factors. Dogs that live in households with no other dogs and dogs whose owners have never previously had a dog were more likely to be aggressive. Huh? Look at this. There's another portion of here. Look at what else they said here. It doesn't explain why these factors contribute. Yeah. While it may be obvious why, for instance, a frightened or suffering dog might be quicker to lash out than a healthy, happy one, other factors are harder to explain. They're blaming everything other than the dog simply being naturally aggressive. That's basically what it boils down to. Now that's the Kennel Club. This was some other article. Canine Academy? Yeah, Innovative Canine Academy. Is dog aggression influenced by human behavior? Now, we've heard this before several times. If a dog is violent, it's because some human somewhere taught it to be that way. Right? Look at this. Look how they start off. Dog aggression is frequently attributed to specific breeds. Talking about pit bulls. A myth that is perpetuated in the media and breed specific. The media does not perpetuate the idea that pit bulls are more aggressive. No, they don't. They report on the worst cases, and they almost always involve pit bulls. They're not reporting on it because it was a pit bull, because it was gruesome, whatever happened, like the one we just watched. But that was a Labrador, allegedly. Okay, so every now and then there's a dog that's not a pit bull that makes it to the news. The Saint Bernard that killed, I think it was a child. Stop it. Look at this. Look at this. Y'all remember this. No bad dogs, only bad owners. True or false? So they have the nerve to tackle this narrative. Broad generalizations and stereotypes are useless for dog breeds. No breed will ever be all good or bad. But because all breeds do have unique personality traits and innate characteristics, some breeds are more prone to behavior issues if they are not properly socialized and trained. So, immediately blaming human beings. Dogs that experience certain traumas during the critical fear imprint periods when they're young, when they're little puppies and they're traumatized by some evil human, they can become aggressive. And look at this. Look at this last sentence. And for unknown reasons, the occasional dog will simply be a behavioral anomaly. Fortunately, these cases are very rare. They're saying it's like an anomaly for a dog to be aggressive for the sake of being aggressive. No, there had to be a human at some point that traumatized and abused it, according to them. Look at this last sentence. In most cases, it says, dogs develop aggression because of the way they have been handled, socialized, and trained by the evil human beings. Okay? Basically, dogs are born non-violent. That's what they're saying. They're saying that dogs are not born violent. And if you see a violent dog, some human somewhere made it like that. Now, this is interesting stuff. You scroll to the next section. How your behavior can affect your dog's aggression. Look at this. In almost every case, dog behavior reflects learned responses. A dog attacks you, oh, that's a learned response. The research demonstrated that dogs displaying aggressive behavior in one setting very rarely exhibited similar behavior in other contexts. For example, okay, now pay attention when dog nutters do things like this. When they try to actually break things down, whenever they try to do this, they are going to make gross errors. Look at this. For example, dogs that were aggressive towards unknown visitors to the home were not aggressive towards known visitors or members of the household, further demonstrating how human behavior. Okay, my stream disconnected and reconnected. I hope we're doing okay out there. Did y'all catch that? They said the dogs that were aggressive towards unknown visitors were not aggressive towards the members of the household. And they are saying that that's an example of human behavior being the cause of the aggression. How? When all those humans do is visit the home. People have no control over whether or not the dog is accustomed to seeing them or not. They haven't done anything. They're simply a new face. You can't blame them. Oh, it's your fault. The dog never seen you before. How crazy of an argument is that? That's crazy. That's something a lunatic will come up with. Now, with that in mind, I showed y'all a video before. Y'all remember I shared this video right here. Y'all remember this? That's a puppy. Nobody has trained that dog. Nobody's traumatized that mutt. It came out of the womb like that. They all do. Violence is a natural instinct for these mutants. You all know it. Okay? What they're doing right now, they're practicing killing, mutilating puppies fresh out the womb. They already know bite, hold, tug, rip, tear, snap. They're literally training, fighting right now. And you nutters want to sit there and tell us that dogs that attack, show aggression, were traumatized by some human at some point in its life? You know how disrespectful it is for someone to expect you to believe that? You know how dumb they must believe you are? Do you know how dumb you have to be to believe that? Dogs come out of the womb with an instinct to fight, bite, attack, kill. And that is why they should be banned. And that's why all these companies, Kennel Club and everywhere, that's why they bend over backwards to blame people for dog aggression. Take all the blame off the dog. That way you'll never have to explain why the dog should remain in society. You'll never have to worry about dogs being banned for safety reasons if you can always blame the owner. So it's never the dog's fault, no matter how often they attack. And this is what's going on right now. All these attacks that are taking place, they're being brushed off as human behavior. Humans caused it somehow. They did something. But all the while, this is simply a natural instinct in dogs. They all know it. Now, did I share this one? Look at this. So you're telling me some evil human traumatized this puppy at some point in its distant past? You telling me some evil human taught this puppy to be aggressive and to attack? It's attacking this man. Oh, that's not natural behavior for dogs. When dogs bite, rest assured there was a cause. Something provoked it. There are no bad dogs, only bad owners. Yeah. When you have something naturally dangerous like this, you have to come up with a huge lie if you want to protect them, if you want them to remain legal. And that's all it is. It's just a con. It is nothing but a con. And like I said, I don't like to see people duped and deceived. Let's look at another video. This surfaced today. Now, it is dog on dog, but that's okay, because dogs, quite often, they look at children the same way they look at other dogs. They just see something small that they can bully and maul. And that's why they attack. Dogs love to see other creatures bleeding, dying, in pain, especially pit bulls. Now, this brain dead mutant is barking because it saw a dog back here. See where my cursor is? Watch, you're going to see a dog come out right there. See it? Now it's about to run over. Watch. See it running? So this is not territorial aggression. And this is how a lot of attacks happen. A lot of them. The dog leaves its territory. It enters your territory and then attacks you. This is not food aggression. Okay? This is not possessive aggression. This is not even predatory aggression. This is the same as that guy sitting on the scooter. You don't have to move. You don't have to be running. They always want to say, oh, well, you triggered a natural, uncontrollable instinct in the dog. It's not the dog's fault. No, these are just bloodthirsty killers. It is as simple as that. Bloodthirsty killers. It's time to stop accepting these people's lies. It's almost as if people have been scared into silence. They make these outlandish statements, and we feel like it would be immoral to refute what they say because it's a dog and dogs are God's creatures. Okay, yeah. They belong in society. No.
A police officer says he was left with no other option when he shot a pit bull who was attacking a woman out for a run over the weekend.
The woman had to jump into a pickup truck to save herself from the dog. 9 on Your Side's Jordan Burgess has the story.
Police and neighbors say that runner was coming down Crestview Drive here, training for this week's Flying Pig Marathon, when a loose dog suddenly attacked. This pickup truck filled with branches is what may have saved one runner from being even more seriously injured.
A jogger was actually up in the bed of a pickup truck trying to escape the dog.
It was then that police showed up to this Lebanon neighborhood. An officer tried to get the dog away from the cornered runner, but then it turned on him.
The dog started coming towards him, started charging him. He backed up 2 times away from the dog, trying to escape the dog.
But when the dog kept coming, the officer drew his weapon, shooting the dog once and killing it.
Did the officer make the right decision in firing on the dog?
It appears at this time that he did, for his own safety, but also the safety of the citizens.
The runner ended up with a bite clear through their calf. Police say the dog was up on its shots, but they don't believe the owner had a license for it. Neighbors say that dog and others would get loose at least once a week from this home.
Get loose once a week? Once a week, huh? I'm telling you, look, whenever I become a homeowner, I can almost guarantee it, I'm going to have to shoot somebody's dog. I'm not going to tolerate this. More and more people, they're going to refuse to tolerate this. And why is it always pit bulls running around the neighborhood? The video I just showed before this one, that was a pit bull. Pit bull owners love to let their pit bulls run through the neighborhood off leash. As someone pointed out, pit bulls are cheaper. They're cheaper. I think they said like a German Shepherd is like 3 or 4 times more expensive than a pit bull. I shared that article the other day where they cut the adoption fee from like $95 to $25 if you adopt a pit bull. They're cheap. So they're for poor people. They're for people who, there's a good chance they have a low IQ. There's a heightened chance that they are mentally ill. There are a few screws loose. So yeah, this is an epidemic. This has to be stopped. They empower the most dysfunctional people in society.
Say that dog and others would get loose at least once a week from this home by jumping the chain link fence.
Jumping over the fence. Having a fence up is talked about as if it's a display of a responsible dog owner. And I've said there's no such thing. Here's an example. There's no such thing. When you have something that jumps over fences, digs holes underneath the fence, squeezes through the cracks between the fence and the home, when you have creatures that manipulate barriers and restraints, it's irresponsible to own them. Does that make sense? And that's exactly why it's irresponsible to own them. Because they're so effective at manipulating restraints and barriers. That means you can't be a responsible dog owner. It's not even possible for you to be a responsible dog owner. You being in possession of one proves that you're irresponsible. That's the truth.
Neighbor told us about having to sprint back inside one morning after the same dog that attacked the runner attacked them.
Apparently they're able to get out quite often.
And police say right now the Warren County...
Man, they would get shot quite often. You always got some pit lunatic in the community like this. It's like that couple I showed on the most recent live stream, just letting their dogs, a pit bull and a Rottweiler, run through the neighborhood. Man, oh man. And for whatever reason, people feel like they're under pressure to keep silent about it. People feel guilty to say anything against dogs. We got to get over that.
County dog warden is investigating to determine what, if any, charges that dog's owner will face. In Lebanon, Jordan Burgess.
If any. Man, these people are out of their minds. They're plumb out of their minds. Now, there was some other story. What was that? There's a lot of crazy stuff. There's always crazy stuff going on with these nutters. Also, I recently installed Windows Movie Maker. Windows Movie Maker. And I'm going to go back to creating movies with it. And I'm going to put together my documentary with it. It'll be basic, right? That's the whole point, to cover the basics. But I feel good that I finally have it installed once again. And I'm able to use it. It's kind of tricky. What in the world is this? Police officers shoot attacking pit bull. Uh-oh. Okay, he just uploaded this 55 minutes ago. Okay, let's be careful. I want to check this out. Up. See, that's what I'm talking about right there. No other animal behaves like that. None. Not cats, nothing. If an animal has never seen you, you're a strange person, they don't want to get close to you. They want you to stay away from them. You start to approach them, they'll leave. I approached a groundhog today. And as always, they stood perfectly still, noticed that I was approaching, ran away. Dogs, they do the exact opposite. They run towards you. Prime example of how backwards they are. Backwards. They do everything backwards. They do the opposite of what all other natural animals do. And backwardness is a tradition of Satanists. Aleister Crowley used to do things backwards. Adolf Hitler turned the swastika backwards. The idea is to go in the opposite direction of nature. That's why I say these things need to be put out of their misery. This thing was eager. Now, what did the cop do? What did the cop do? How did the cop provoke this dog? Well, if it's not sick, there's always something that provoked it. And it's just, it's too bad we couldn't hear the shot. That's too bad. That's too bad. It looked like he tased it as well. That's too bad. I wanted to hear.
Shut the up.
Whoa, did you hear that? Who's the cop? Cop over there cussing somebody out.
Shut the up.
Was he talking to the dog? Did y'all hear that? You think he was talking to the dog? Was the dog shot and squealing? And he gave him one last bullet and then told him to shut up?
Shut the up.
Oh my. Oh my. The madness does not stop, man. Shout out to everybody able to join me for this brief live stream. And already been on here for an hour. Shout out to, it's like I missed a super chat. Big shout out to you, whoever that was, in the super chat. Man, we had a lot of people in here today. Oh, everybody's in here. Ashley in the building. All right, Toxic Paw Print. Make sure y'all check out Toxic Paw Print. Lisa, right? Good to see you again. War on Dogs in the building. We are lounging in here. Gerard the King, I see you. Parasitic Mutant, Atlas King, right? Adina. Eerie Bear, right? We got some new faces in here. Nally, BK Born, big shout out to you. I see you in here. I gotta take it light sometimes with these nutter videos. You know, sometimes I'm just not in the mood to be serious. Yeah, YouTube shorts are stupid. It's like TikTok for YouTube. Skull Kid in the building. Vampire, right? Hope y'all having a wonderful Tuesday, a constructive week, and continue to do so. And stay dog free, stay clean, stay ready. And I hope to see you all on the next live stream as we continue with this crusade.